Once upon a time, Canadian kitchens were filled with the scent of wood burning in the stove, maple syrup boiling, and cookies baking on cast iron trays. These were simple desserts, made with whatever was on hand, but they tasted like family, open fields, and slow Sundays. Today, many of those flavors have faded, but not completely, because if you close your eyes, maybe you can still remember them. Join me on this journey through 24 Canadian desserts that few remember today, but that once meant everything in our grandmother's kitchens. Pouting Schomer. In hard times, our grandmothers found comfort in the kitchen. Pouting Schomer, or unemployed pudding, was born in 1929 in Quebec during the Great Depression. It's a twist on England's working-class breadcrumb pudding. Using basic ingredients like flour, butter, and sugar, they created a fluffy cake baked over a hot sauce made from maple syrup and cream. Out of the oven, the cake soaked up the sauce, creating a moist texture and a sweet, soul-soothing flavor. Flapper pie. On the vast Canadian prairies, flapper pie was the pride of many kitchens. With a graham cracker crust, a creamy vanilla custard filling, and a golden meringue topping, this pie was a testament to both elegance and simplicity. Our grandmothers whipped the egg whites by hand until they formed perfect peaks. Served at family gatherings, every bite brought laughter, stories, and the warm embrace of home. Figgy Duff. From the shores of Newfoundland, Figgy Duff is a steamed pudding passed down through generations. Despite its name, it contains no figs. Figgy was an old word for raisins. Mixing breadcrumbs, raisins, molasses, and spices, our grandmothers cooked this dessert in cloth bags, submerged in boiling water. The result was a dense aromatic pudding, served with melted butter or cream, filling homes with warm aromas and cherished memories. Blueberry Grunt. In the Maritimes, when blueberries were ripe, blueberry grunt was the go-to dessert. Blueberries were simmered with sugar and a touch of lemon into a bubbling compote. Biscuit dough was dropped on top and steamed until fluffy, absorbing the fruit juices. The name grunt comes from the sound the blueberries make while boiling. Served warm, often with a scoop of ice cream, it was the perfect ending to a family meal. Maple syrup pie, tarte au sirop d'érable. In Quebec, tarte au sirop d'érable is a celebration of maple syrup, our national treasure. With a flaky pastry crust and a filling of maple syrup, eggs, and cream, this pie is baked to a smooth texture and an intensely sweet flavor. Our grandmothers made it especially in spring, during maple harvest season. Barley sugar candy. Barley sugar candy is a traditional sweet once made in Canadian kitchens during winter. Grandmothers simmered barley in water for hours to extract its essence, then combined it with sugar and cooked it into a thick syrup poured into molds to form hard candies. With their amber color and mild taste, these treats were special gifts for children, warming hearts on cold days. Labrador tea shortbread. Labrador tea shortbread is a fusion of Indigenous and European traditions. Grandmothers infused butter with leaves of Labrador tea, an aromatic northern Canadian plant, then mixed it with flour and sugar to create unique shortbread cookies. These biscuits, with their delicate herbal flavor, reflected respect for nature and ancestral customs, shared at family gatherings and celebrations. Carrot marmalade cake. Carrot marmalade cake blends the sweetness of carrots with the citrus zing of orange marmalade. Our grandmothers grated carrots and mixed them with flour, sugar, eggs, and spices, adding marmalade for a special twist. The result was a moist, fragrant cake, perfect, with a cup of tea on a quiet afternoon, recalling life's simple joys. Maple walnut fudge. Maple walnut fudge is a Canadian confectionery treasure, especially during maple syrup season. Grandmothers would boil pure maple syrup with cream and butter, then beat the mixture to a soft consistency and fold in chopped walnuts for a crunchy finish. Each bite of this creamy treat brought memories of time spent in the kitchen, sharing stories and laughter. Rhubarb custard pie. Rhubarb custard pie balances the tang of fresh rhubarb with a creamy, sweet filling. Our grandmothers mixed chopped rhubarb with eggs, sugar, and cream, pouring it into a crisp pie crust and baking it to golden perfection. Every slice reminded us of springtime and culinary creativity. Cherry grunt. Cherry grunt marries the tartness of cherries with soft dumplings. The fruit was stewed with sugar into a rich compote, then topped with spoonfuls of dough that steamed into fluffy delights. Served warm, often with ice cream, this dessert was the crowning touch to a family meal. Bannock fry bread with honey. Bannock fry bread reflects Canada's rich Indigenous heritage. Made with flour, water, and a touch of fat, it was fried until crispy on the outside and soft inside. Grandmothers served it hot with honey drizzled on top, creating a lovely mix of sweet and savory. This humble bread was the perfect side dish or comforting snack. Saskatoon berry pie. In the wide-open Canadian prairies, Saskatoon berry pie symbolized harvest and community. Made with fresh berries, sugar, and a hint of lemon, our grandmothers prepared a juicy filling baked in a golden crust. Served with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, each slice was a taste of home and prairie generosity. Maple snow candy. On frosty winter days, grandmothers made maple snow candy, a simple but magical treat. Boiled maple syrup was poured over clean snow, hardening into sweet, sticky ribbons. Kids used wooden sticks to roll it up and enjoy instantly. Gingerbread steamed pudding. A holiday classic, gingerbread steamed pudding was full of warm spices and love. Grandmothers mixed molasses, ginger, cinnamon, and other spices with flour and butter, steaming it until perfectly moist and fragrant. Served with hot caramel sauce or custard, it filled homes with festive aromas and created cherished memories around the table. Cranberry duff. Cranberry duff combines the tartness of cranberries with the sweetness of a light batter. Our grandmothers would cook the cranberries with sugar into a compote, top it with simple dough, and bake it until golden. Served warm, often with vanilla sauce or cream, this dessert was a favorite at family feasts, especially during the holidays. Snow taffy, tire d'érable sur la neige. On cold winter afternoons, snow taffy was a delight everyone looked forward to. Our grandmothers would boil maple syrup to just the right temperature and pour it over clean snow, where it would harden into sweet, sticky strips. Kids would roll the taffy onto sticks and enjoy it immediately. This simple winter pleasure is an unforgettable part of Canadian childhood. Indian pudding. Indian pudding is a colonial-era gem that still finds a place on our tables. Made by gently cooking cornmeal with milk, molasses, and spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, it becomes a soft, creamy treat. Our grandmothers served it warm, often with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, offering a delicious contrast of hot and cold. Each spoonful was a taste of the past, rich in flavor and tradition. Hasty pudding. When time was short, but the craving for sweetness strong, our grandmothers made hasty pudding. This simple dessert was prepared by slowly cooking cornmeal in milk until thick and comforting. It was often sweetened with molasses and flavored with cinnamon and ginger, creating a warm, homey taste. Served hot, it was like a hug on a cold night. Partridge berry pudding. From Newfoundland and Labrador, partridge berry pudding celebrates the local bounty. Using tart partridge berries, similar to lingonberries, a batter was prepared and either steamed or baked, resulting in a moist, flavorful pudding. Served with warm butter sauce or cream, this dessert was the perfect end to family meals, evoking the richness of our land and the warmth of home. Molasses cookies. Molasses cookies bring back memories of cozy afternoons and spiced aromas. Made with molasses, ginger, cinnamon, and cloves, these soft and chewy cookies were a treat any time of the year. Our grandmothers carefully blended the ingredients, rolling them into balls and baking them to a perfect texture. Often enjoyed with a hot cup of tea, they were the background to stories and laughter in the kitchen. Butter tarts with walnuts. Butter tarts are a true emblem of Canadian baking. With a flaky pastry base and a filling of butter, sugar, and eggs, these tarts were enriched with walnuts, adding a delightful crunch. Our grandmothers baked them until the center remained just slightly runny, creating the perfect contrast with the crust. Served at family gatherings, they were a heartfelt symbol of tradition. Sucre à la crème. In Quebec, sucre à la crème is more than just a sweet treat. It's a piece of heritage. With only sugar, cream, and butter, our grandmothers crafted this soft, decadent fudge. The mixture was cooked to the perfect temperature, cooled, and beaten until it turned creamy and melt in your mouth. Each square was a gift, especially during the holidays, symbolizing love and the generosity of home. Apple pandowdy. In old Canadian kitchens, apple pandowdy was a showcase of both creativity and comfort. Made with fresh apples, brown sugar, and spices, a compote was cooked and topped with bits of pastry dough, giving it a rustic yet charming look. As it baked, the crust partially sank into the filling, allowing the caramelized juices to soak through every bite. Served warm, often with a spoonful of cream, this dessert was the epitome of comfort on chilly days. But it wasn't just about dessert, it was about the moment, the spoon scraping the bottom of the pan, warm hands offering a second slice, the smell that wordlessly told you you were home. Today, I've shared sweets that time tried to erase, but that's still live on somewhere in the Canadian memory. If any of these desserts made you smile, it's because that taste still lives within you. And now tell me, which of these desserts would you love to taste again as if it were the first time? I'm reading your comments with love, and thank you for sharing this spoonful of history with me.